just wanted to jump on. Let's see if this has worked or not. Excuse me, drinking beer whilst on online. So, for anyone just watching this on the replay, I'm just trying to figure out the logistics of this flipping thing. I just need somebody's input, because when I watch these lives back, that writing is the right way around. When I'm looking at it now, it's the wrong way around. I need to know whether I need to alter it and ultimately change it. There we go. Right, we've got people online. Guys, Tim Bell, do me a favour, Tim. I'm literally here for 1 second to ask one question. See that sign there? When I watch this on the replay, Tim, that is the right way round. But whilst you're watching it on the live, is that writing the right way or the wrong way? Omar, listen, guys, I'm literally just on here for 2 seconds. I'm just trying to sort something out, because when I look at this on the replay, it's the right way around, and I just want to check that it's right, because ultimately I'm gonna have to switch it around. Right way. Sound. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. I just had a Facebook Live in the group, and on my Facebook Lives, it's the wrong way around. And if I switch my camera around to make it so it's the right way around on Facebook Lives, it's the wrong way around for you guys. But ultimately, you know, it's the YouTube that I want it the you know the gist, don't you? So anyway, I just wanted to just jump on and do a little test. So I'm going to delete this live video. This wasn't really meant to happen, and there wasn't meant to be 36 of you slipping online. It was just a quick check anyway. But anyway, how are we, gents? I'm just in my little den. It's where I spend most of my flipping life in here, I swear to you. Take it easy, guys. Have a good one. I'm going to finish this beer and go to bed myself. Ciao. Well, you go to bed if you want. I'm going to finish this beer anyway. So, whilst we're online, if anyone wants to say anything, if anyone wants a little yap about anything, then I'm here for the next 2 minutes. Looks good unless you're boss. Yeah. Doc, who? Morning from Australia. How's it going, mate? Whereabouts in Australia are you from, Doc? Omar, yeah, you got it right, mate. Oh, flipping, what a day. What a day. Let's see where Doc's from. Oh, guys, it's been a long day for me today. We're doing an acrylic job at the minute. Thin coat man. Sunshine Coast, flipping heck. Sounds nice wherever that is. My mate went to Australia, and he travelled the flipping length of it. Come back with some amazing stories. Do you know what, Doc? I've actually had 2 opportunities to come and live in Australia, and both times I've wanted to do, but ultimately my missus indoors, like, you know, she doesn't want to go. She's she doesn't want to be away from her mum. Her mum's not very well. Between us, like, her mum's not been very well for a long time, and she's not giving in. It's probably the bad way of saying it, like, but you know, she's probably the strongest one in the family. I mean, so she's got to stay. She wants to be near her mum. So I haven't been able to go. I haven't been able to come over to Australia, but I would have loved to have come over, especially when I was younger, you know. Also, Plum, you recording the Thin Coat job, Kurt? Good evening. Yeah, so, yeah, sorry about this Thin Coat job. It's, do you know what? I wanted to record it. We're using some stuff, and I've never used this gear before, and I'll be honest with you, I don't like it at all. So all the Thin Coat stuff I've ever done in the past has always been over external wall insulation, and I've always sort of used like VPI or Baumit or K-Ren's Thin Coat system. and the stuff is lovely. Right, this gear holding mixing it, the builder's got, and you can't get any thickness with the base coat. It's come from, I can't even think where it's come from. I should have had more information for you before I started talking about this, but it's absolutely shite. The base coat drips when you're trying to use it. That just starts dripping. You know, if you try and get any sort of thickness to it, you've got to build out in like coats over, because it doesn't go off either. For instance, if you use HP12 as your base coat, you can get good thickness to it. You can straighten it out. You can rule it off, and you can rub it up within an hour or two. This stuff, you put it on, you can't go on more than flipping 6 mil thick, because it starts to drip down the wall and it doesn't go off. It just hangs and hangs and hangs. Like, we've got to start, we've bedded our mesh and we're putting like a top coat on, and I've got to do it first thing in the morning and basically leave it till just before we go, and it'll only rub up once it's dried out. You've got to let it dry out, and then you can rub it with the sponge and get it a bit neater. Horrible stuff. And the primer needs like 3 coats to cover, whereas VPI and Baumit, 1 coat and the quality is solid. This stuff is like flipping watered down emulsion. So do you know what, I would love to video it, but I'm not going to, because it's absolutely crap and it's a nightmare to work with, and ultimately I'm just not impressed with it. So I don't really want to. The end product's going to be nice, but the way we're having to go about getting to the end result is not textbook, and ultimately it doesn't look good doing it. It just does. It's just a struggle to work with. So no, I won't be filming it, unfortunately, mate. Doc, who moved here from the UK 14 years ago, mate, never looked back. Doc, listen, this is the situation with me. I've got a cousin that lives in Australia, or Helen, and she said to me, you know, come over, Kurt, you know, we can help you get over here, what have you. So that was one opportunity. Years ago, my dad took on an apprentice. So my dad's the old school, and they had the old school way of thinking where you don't teach too many people, you know, you don't want to sort of teach your future competition. Everyone was like, they're territorial over the work. And we got this lad, and he's from on the Whittle. And my dad didn't really want to teach him plastering, you know. He'd say to us, don't show him everything, you know. You know what the old boys are like, don't show him how to do this, don't show him, you know, just let him skim the cupboards, that's all he can do. Well, anyway, Peter, and this lad is one of my best mates now. We worked together for a few years, flipping absolutely fantastic lad. He wanted to learn to plaster because his uncle's got a plastering firm in Australia, and his uncle said to him, learn to plaster in the UK and then come out here. So he did, and he went, and then he phoned me when he was out there. He was, you know, because we were quite good mates by then, after a couple of years working with me. And he's about a year or two older than me as well. I started plastering when I was 15, full time. I could already plaster because my dad's a plasterer. I had to go and do it on the school holidays, weekends, and what have you, you know. So I could already sort of plaster before I even left school. I started full time when I left at 15. And when I was about 17 or 18 is when Peter come along, but he was a couple of years older, but obviously didn't know how to do anything. Anyway, a couple of years with him, and he goes off to Australia, and then he messaged me. He said, "Kurt, my uncle has got houses out here. He wants to have a chat with you, or if you want to come out." So I got on the phone with him, and this was the deal. He said his uncle rents out a few properties. He's got a plastering business, and his uncle said, "Come out and work for him. You know, come work for my uncle for cheap, but he'll get a house as well. He'll put you up and stay here for a few months, you know, 6 months, see if you like it. If you like it, then, you know, he'll sponsor you to come out, you'll have a job and all the rest of it, and we'll go from there." I thought that was my gold ticket. So I, you know, straight away, not even a second thought, I was like, I'm going to Australia. Babe, pack your stuff, we're going. And no, what about my family? I was like, what about them? FaceTime them. Let's go. Come on. You know, we've got this. Let's go for 2 or 3 months and just see if we like it. If we like it, we'll stay. You know, but she was having none of it. So literally, I just never anticipated that would even be a situation. I just thought, you know, I don't know, maybe you think different, don't you? You know, you think you're on the same page as someone, but then when it comes to something else, you've got completely different outlooks on things. I mean, for me, it was a no-brainer. I would have just been gone. But, I mean, do you know what? At the time as well, I love the bones of my missus. But we had our daughter as well, because otherwise, potentially she could have been getting left behind. It would have been a case of, hey, nice knowing you. But kids, you know what it's like. Anyway, I won't say anymore. I'll get myself in trouble. Eastside, big up Captain Kirk. Drew Walsh, any book recommendations, plastering or non-plastering? Yeah, plastering books. Get William Miller's book, Plastering Plain and Decorative. That, if you read that cover to cover, there's no such thing as multi-finish and board finish. This was all line work. But if you read that cover to cover, mate, then there ain't be much that anyone can teach you. If you, where is it actually? This is, stay there. It's a bit tatty. Give us a second. Plastering, Plain and Decorative by William Miller. That is the best book to go. Anything, how to set out coin stones, how to set out elliptical arches, basically anything. Plaster, that covers it. But like I say, all the modern materials aren't in it, but the techniques are the same. The tools are the same. Nothing's changed there. That's a good plastering book. And then when it comes to other books, another recommendation for you. That's been a lovely little book. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Great little read. I mean, I could give you book recommendations all flipping day. There's millions of them down here. I'm a bookworm. They have to be in here. They're not allowed in the house. My missus flipping hates them. I had a bookcase in the house, and it makes us look twacky. Yeah. Everything has to be sleek and modern and flipping Alexa talking to you. If I want to know something, I'll ask Alexa. Fucking whatever. I'll go in my shed with my books then, shall I? Sorry, do you know what? She's getting a rib in, my missus. She's probably lying in bed watching this, thinking I'll kill him when he comes up here. Out of Plum sounds like a horror movie. Don't record it, you end up scare people. Yeah, it flipping is, mate. It is. We haven't even started with the thin coat yet. I'm flipping dreading it because the base coat has been basically horrendous. The primer is flipping horrendous. I mean, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens when we come to the thin coat. Hopefully that'll be nice to use, but I'm not holding my breath. But ultimately, I mean, I'm sort of well committed on this job now, and it owes me, I'm sort of in deeper than I can come back out again, so I've got to just see it through to the end. It is what it is. But I think I'll never let builders, because ultimately all that's happened here is the builder's gone online and he's gone and looked and found the cheapest products he can possibly find, no doubt, and that's the stuff that we're working with, which, yeah, it's not fun. Liam, I can't even say. I mean, the text has gone too small. Bark for a sub. No, do you know what, mate? I'd rather you just flipping unsubscribed. KB, love a Trump fan. Trump all the way. Mate, do you know what? It's one of those things, it divides some people, doesn't it? I genuinely love Trump, right? But, hear me out, because there's some people that don't like him. And you got to ask yourself, why don't you like him? People say, he's going to cause war. My father-in-law hates him. Now, my father-in-law's sound as a pound. What best role model ever. My father-in-law is literally a gem. I love the bones of the man. He hates Trump. I say, why? Why don't you like him? What's he done? He's just ready to press the button. He's going to cause wars with Russia and all that. He's the only president from the US that's never started a war. He's the only fellow that come in, did not start a single war, ended wars, flipping made contact with North Korea, met Putin. Oh, anyway, I don't know. Do you know what? I like Trump. What I like about him is, whether you like him or not, he's got the balls to tell you what he thinks. He's not a slime. He's not like Rishi Sunak. You heard Rishi Sunak on the radio. I mean, I don't listen to it very often, but when the radio's on and you hear people asking him questions and he's ducking and diving, he won't give nobody a straight answer. You ask him a question on one thing and he just avoids it. At least with Trump, he tells you exactly what's on his mind. Anyway, don't want to get too political, do we? What's the sign above your head? Lee Hort. See, this is the Dave. This is Dave Noble, right? This is the thing I'm asking. This is what I want to know. Is that the right? If I watch the replay of these lives, it's the right way around. I want to know whilst I'm live, is that the right way or is that the wrong way around? Because I mean, what I did was when the young lady made that for me, she did a mirror image on the back. It's printed on the back as well. So spin it round and it's the right way. I don't know which way is the right way around. So that's why I thought I'd just ask you guys. Brucey Bonus, you're not working tomorrow? Yes, mate, I am. I am working tomorrow, yeah. I tell you what, seems mad because I'm up here. What is it now? Flipping 10 to midnight. My sleeping arrangements, mate, my sleeping patterns are a bit funny. What I've done for many, many years, from the days when I used to work on site, I come home straight from work and I'll sleep. The minute I walk in, I'll just eat and sleep, or I'll have a pangs on the way home. I'll come in and I'll crash out for about 2 hours. And then when I wake up, about an hour or two later, I'm then awake until about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I'll sleep until about 6:30, 7 o'clock. So, yes, I am in work tomorrow. And people say, oh, you're up late. I've already had a little nap. And it's just how I've always done it. I have like a little siesta and then I have a proper sleep. But, yeah, I'll be in work tomorrow, mate. Carly Cares, great videos, mate. Thank you, mate. Dave, fucking pulling me leg. Do you know what? I wasn't even doing a live tonight. I just wanted to just come on and ask people about that. Anyway, you've got me yapping now. Gents as well. I've just been editing the video and having a few beers, and I thought, you know what? I'll just see if anyone's online and will tell me what the situation is of that, if it shows up the right way. Callie Cares, I think that's what your name says there. I mean, the text is quite small on my phone, sorry. I keep finding the plastic keeps going off, ending up wasting a fair bit in the bucket. You can get this, mate. Easy Mix. Go on the website, put some of that in your mix. You give you an extra hour. You won't suffer that ever again. Or go faster. Work more efficient. But I mean, a bit of extra time in your stuff. It depends. If you're not working full time as a plasterer, then this probably will be fine for you. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I know the fella that makes this stuff like he's a friend of mine. Easy Mix. He's a lovely, lovely man. Genuinely great fella, and he used to be a plasterer as well. But the idea of making gauges last longer for me, I've got loads of these because I don't use them. The blue ones, the half time, I used loads of that, but I've got these knocking around because the thought of making the gauge last longer makes me feel sick. So if you want to send me an envelope, mate, email me your contact. If you want to send me a prepaid envelope, I'll put a fucking ton of these. Oh, fucking yeah. I'll put a load in an envelope and send them to you, mate. You can have them. Harry, it's the right way. Cheers, Harry. Brucey Bonus, what's your opinion on a flexi all the way? In my opinion, it has to be steel until hard trowel. Right. So, flexi trowels. Boys, let me just... I'll tell you my honest opinion of flexi trowels, right? Don't bother with them. Just The thing with them is they will flex to any shape. And when they go to any shape, they'll go in any deviation, they'll go over any bump, and they'll smooth the work. So when you're stood face on with the work, it looks gorgeous because it gives you that lovely texture, and it'll polish it, and it'll look so smooth, and you'll touch it with silky smooth, right? Because face on, the texture is perfect. If there's a slight bump in your wall, it'll go over it and it'll leave it looking lovely. But when the sun shines across the wall, that lump is still there, because you can't get rid of a lump with something that's flexible. So when the sun shines down the wall, it'll look horrendous. I've learned this the hard way. When all the Flexi Trials first come out, go to Plasterers One Stop Shop, Ryan Hill. He brought out Nella Flexi Trials, right? And I was all over it. In fact, I helped Ryan. Ask Ryan about Kirk Johnston. He'll tell you. Me and him, I was messaging him behind the scenes, and I helped promote the Nella Flexi Trials with his baseball cap giveaways and all sorts of stuff, and we got it pumping. And I was full on into it. Flexis. I've been down that road, and I've been back and looked at jobs that I've done. Whoa, what the fuck happened here? Yeah, no, Flexi's no good. Now the thing is, people say only use them for the final, only use them for the polish, right? Because it's lighter on your wrist. Think to yourself, right, about this. Just reason this out in your head. When you're polishing with your steel trowel, and it's not completely polished on the wall, why is that? It's because there's little deviations and bumps, and you're having to push hard to get it to go flat. You know, or your third trowel, you're really pushing because you're trying to flatten the stuff out because the steel's not bending. So if you're using a Flexi and it's like, oh, it's easy on the wrist because you haven't got to press hard. Well, you're not pressing hard because you're not straightening the wall out, because the Flexi is going in and out of the shape of it and going to whatever the shape is and leaving you that lovely, nice polished feel, but you haven't straightened the wall. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? The Flexis just do not get things flat. And ultimately, if the wall's flat enough and it doesn't need a polish, it doesn't need another go over, then why are you even going over it anyway? Ultimately, for me, I just think that the pointless. I'm not saying you can't do a nice job with them. If you catch the gear when it's wet, if the stuff's wet, they will flatten it out. But as soon as the stuff starts to pick up, or there's a lump or bump, it's game over, because they just won't get it out. So lads on site doing site bashing, you know, dry lined walls and the lovely plasterboard walls for miles of straight dabbing, you know, yeah, fine. Flexis probably won't cause you much issues. I do domestic work, and you just can't have them. The jobs that I've been back to plaster over other people's work, and they've used Flexi Trials, and they said it looked great, but as soon as you painted it, it looked like rice pudding. So, yeah, that's my opinion on them. I don't bother with them. I don't use them at all. Eric asked the plasterer, didn't know you was on. Eric, I just come on, because Eric, I was just asking these boys if my sign's the right way around, because my camera, when I'm looking at this now on my camera here, it's a mirror image. The text is the wrong way. On Facebook, because I've just done a Facebook Live with me sales and marketing group. I've just been talking to the lads in there for an hour, and it's the wrong way around on Facebook, but it turns out it's the right way around on YouTube. So we're just leaving it, because otherwise I was going to switch it around and have it like a mirror image. But anyway, it's fine. So that's why I'm on, Eric. Right, I'm just going to go back and see what some of these comments were. Alistair Booth. Alistair, you're up late, mate. Loving the channel. Eric, looks good, mate. Cheers, Eric. Yeah, thank you, mate. Do you know what it was, mate? I've been. I don't know if you've noticed on a few of my videos, I've been trying a little bit harder. I've been putting a little bit of effort in. You know, check me out, Eric. Right, you'll appreciate this. So for the last year, I have literally just been doing all my videos, all my plastering stuff with just my phone. That's it. Nothing else. Just recording everything on my phone, doing everything just on my editing app on my phone. Now, what I've done is, my daughter said to me, Dad, why don't you make your channel better? Why don't you really, start doing stuff like, make it as good as you can? I I said, well, it's all right. It's you. And she said, well, if you're going to do it, you may as well do it good. So I thought to myself, do you know what? She's right. Why, if I'm making the effort to do it, I may as well make a little bit more effort. It doesn't take much extra time and make it a bit better. So I've been trying to edit my videos a bit better. She's went on Amazon and put these lights up for me. I ordered my little sign. Look at this as well. I'm not using this now, but got a little microphone as well to make the audio better. But I've since found out I need to have earphones because when that's plugged in, oh yeah, earphones work better with a microphone, so you can hear the quality. But anyway, so that's the next thing I'll have to sort out. Anyway, I've been trying to make it better for you. Brucey Bonus person for 23 years. It's my neck I suffer with. What part of your body do you struggle with, and what do you do to keep yourself going, mate? Keep yourself going. Few of them seems to ease the pain. Yeah, I'm suffering at the minute, mate, because I've torn a ligament in my knee, but that wasn't plastering. That was just me doing stupid things. I went to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and managed to hurt myself. No one even hurt me. I wish I had a good story that someone snapped my leg, but they didn't. I did it myself. So I've got a torn ligament in my knee, which is slowing me down horrendously. It's in constant sort of pain with it every time I walk down. So that's a bit of a pain in the ass. I used to suffer with my wrist, but only through, again, my own stupidity, because I used to use a 22-inch by 5-inch trowel when I was plastering on site many years ago, and I started getting real bad wrist pain, and then I've struggled with my wrist for a long time, up until about 6 years ago when I started using 14-inch by 4-inch trowels. I use a 14 by 4 carbon steel now. I do keep a 14 by 5 because I find I can't get into, because I've got quite big hands. I can't get, my knuckles get in the way when I'm trying to get into like window reveals and stuff with the 4-inch trowel. So I have to keep a 14 by 5 on hand and switch to that to be able to get into the reveals, because we flipping knuckles get in the way a little bit when I'm trying to get in there. But I've found that using a smaller trowel and a thinner trowel causes less leverage. The thinner the trowel, the 4-inch wide trowel, how can I explain this? You know, imagine the leverage. If you push hard here, you know, you can apply a lot of force. If you push hard there, you can't. It's the same with your trowels. You know, if the blade's 5 inches wide, where you're pushing on the wall, it's more pressure on your wrist. If the blade's thinner, it's closer to the hand, it's less pressure. If that makes sense to you. It's stopped the pain anyway. That was the main thing. My wrist is golden again now, you know, no problem at all. Omar, flexies are no good. I have about 6 of them, all different sizes. I like new shiny shit. But the novelty wore off. Don't use them anymore. Just got a 60 before Marshalltown carbon today. Look, I loved them. I used to have the Nella Super Flex, the Nella Midi Flex. I've had the Refiner Flex. I've had the Marshalltown Flex. I've been down this road, like I've genuinely have. I'm not one of these guys sort of like stuck to the old ways and that's it. It's just I've tried it all and it doesn't work for me anyway. But maybe if you're not putting as much on and the stuff stays wet, it might be all right. But I'm with you, Omar. I don't bother with them. I tell you what I do keep them for. I tell you what they are very good for. Thin coat rendering. Like the job I'm on now, when we put the thin coat on, it's got to go on the same thickness as the aggregate. So you've got to get it on dead tight. Now, the base coat, you rule it off and you rub it up, but it ultimately, you don't get it dead flat because the stuff drags. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to work with, especially this stuff we're working with. I told you it drips and droops and you can't get any thickness. So what you find is there may be slight little deviations here and there. And literally, if you are not the same thickness as the aggregate all over, when you rub it with the float, you will literally get swirls in the wall. It will be like chewing gum. It's got to be super tight. So put it on with your flexi because it follows any little deviation. And then when you come to rub it up, it's lovely. So yeah, I use Flexies for putting thin coat render on. Astral Plus, it must be taking you a while to edit, mate. Yeah, them last two videos. But to be honest with you, mate, my editing from all my other YouTube videos has literally just been cropping clips and putting them together. So it's not really like, I haven't really done much editing in the past. So now I'm just sort of, it's sort of what used to take me maybe, I don't know, 2 hours to edit a video is now taking me more like 7 or 8 hours, but I'm only going to get faster at it, aren't I? It's just finding a nice little technique, getting a nice little routine. But I'll tell you something I'm discovering as well, because I've edited the last 2 videos that much, it glitches me phone out when I'm doing it. So I'm having to take the video and put it into little sections. I'm having to get like 10-minute sections of video and edit them and then save them and then once they're all edited, then go make another edit and put them all together, if that makes sense. So I have a laptop, didn't I? And I had a nightmare with it just before I was going away. And we did a tool giveaway. I was doing a tool giveaway and I needed to print all the names off because I was going on holiday and I was going to do a live draw and give away some free tools whilst I was on holiday. And the laptop was playing up. It wouldn't let me do a certain thing I wanted to do. And the missus was in the car beeping the horn. I had the baby on my knee. The baby was crying. My daughter's come in, took the baby. She's like, Dad, come on. And she's gone out and she's still beeping the horn. And the laptop wouldn't connect to the printer. So I punched the screen in. So I haven't got a laptop no more. I know, flipping absolutely stupid, but it was an old piece of crap. Anyway, it wasn't, it wasn't nothing fancy. And I just, and that was it, bust. So I need to get a new laptop. Astral Plaster, yeah. Edic, yeah. Splash out on a desktop much easier. I'm looking at. I don't know. See, I don't know about computers. Give me a trowel or a hammer. I'm golden. Technology. I mean, I'm all up for learning. I'm not archaic. I will always keep trying things. I'm like a sponge. But I know what I don't know about, and I don't understand about computers. And I don't like Windows when they have to buy things, everything you want to do, you have to buy it. I wish there was like a laptop that was like had Android, I can download apps whatever I want and they just work. Whereas anything you want to do on a computer, you've got to buy stuff all the time, which I'm not a minge bag, but I don't like getting tied into all these yearly subscriptions. I'm paying like £30 to have Word and this, and it's all like money coming out of my bank, and I don't even use the stuff, So yeah, I don't know. I'll have to get something now. I appreciate you're happy to help, though, mate. Thank you. It's good to have someone I can ask about. Let's see where we're up to. Howard Morris, beer cures all pains. Flipping does, mate. Apart from toothache, it's the only. Doesn't matter what I've done. I've had all sorts, broken bones, broken ribs. I mean, I've had quite a colourful life, ultimately. And I found a good few pints afterwards always seems to make you feel better. And you've got flipping, someone's done or you've hurt yourself, I fell down the stairs and all sorts, and beer fixes it. But toothache, you can't drown that stuff. Flipping that toothache just hurts, and that's the end of it. Omar 22, Lord, what a beast. Yeah, it was Omar, it wasn't it was a concrete trowel, so the steel wasn't as good apparently, but it worked anyway. Concrete trowels just breaking just the same as finishing trowels. They're just a bit less flexible, but yeah, it worked. It was flipping. It's like a snowboard. It's like a snowboard with a handle on it. When you're young, it's like who's got the biggest dick, isn't it? Who's got the biggest trowel? When you're flipping in your 20s, looking back, mate, flipping idiot. But you know what it's like. Brucey Bonus, I've started scraping my base coat for thin coat render. Scrape, then rub it up. Okay. Okay, that sounds interesting. That sounds interesting, yeah. Okay, I'll have a little look. We'll see how we get on. Well, I'll have a little dabble of that tomorrow. Do you use a? Are you using an eye bar to scrape it, or what are you using? A spatula or the back of your trowel, or what are you scraping it with? Um, Omar got a wooden handle too. Haven't used a wooden handle trowel in years. Can't wait to get using it. Oh, Omar, listen, the best thing about a wooden handle, mate, segs. Nice, big, solid segs that when you stroke your missus's leg and she's got tights on, it rips the tights. You can't beat them. Hey, when you give someone a handshake and you got a hand like a caveman with flipping wooden handles on your trowel, mate, you can't. It's just the give you man's hands. I'm saying that I've got a flipping Jurasoft handle on my trowel, but you know where I'm coming from. Centra Consultants, what lighting behind the camera do you use? So I'll show you now. But I'll tell you what it is. When I built this workshop, I didn't have a YouTube channel, so I built a workshop. I'll just show you; it's going to be easier. Look, I built a workshop down here, just for all my plastering stuff and all my tools. It's a bit of a mess at the minute, so just ignore the flipping park up at the end. But I've got all my tools all racked out and bench and all that sort of caper in there. And then I made like an office up this end. I made like an office up here, and I wanted it so I could come in here and fart around with things and my own little space, because I've got 3 daughters where I could just come and I like tinkering with stuff. I like fixing tools and stuff, having a beer, fixing DeWalt impact drivers and stuff like that. So I put like an inspection light on the wall behind me here, which is turn that on. See, it's just an LED strip light basically, and that's all it is. But that was so that when I'm working on my desk, when I'm sat here on my desk, and I'm really trying to find little fiddly bits and bobs, little tiny screws and stuff, that's just an extra little bit of light for me. And then it worked out when I started doing YouTube and stuff that's great lighting for me. So that's me lighting behind the camera. I think it cost 12 quid from Screwfix. So there you have it. Splash on a desktop, yeah, Splash on desktop. I'll have to have a look, mate. Brucey Bonus, opinion on speed skims, Kirk? Yeah, great for flattening in. I've got speed skims. All I ever use my speed skim for is when I put an Artex sealant on. I always put the Artex sealant on, flatten it as fast as I can. I'll use a speed skim because it's on a pole, it's dead easy. And then I let it pick up. I let it go really firm to get rid of the pattern, and then second coat it, and it comes down absolutely mint every single time. It's like skimming over plasterboard. I used to years ago struggle with Artex sealants, put it on, get the second coat on straight away, and then the pattern's bleeding through, and you're wetting it, and you're troweling it, and you're brushing it, and put it on, get it flat with a speed skim, leave it. You think you need no, leave it longer, and then second coat it, and it just comes out almost perfect every single time. So that's what I use speed skims for. Alistair Booth got a mate who builds them. I'll have a word, see what he says, may even show you how to use. Sorry, Alistair, are we on about computers? Just in case I've lost my train of thought, mate. Logan Thompson, if you ever get a job round Preston or Blackpool and need a hand, let me know. I'd love to work with you. You're a legend. Cheers, Logan. You might not say that after working with me, mate. You might go, he's nuts. Brucey Brothers, iBar 1.5. Yeah, sound. Okay, I've got iBars on the van. I'll give that a whirl tomorrow. KI7 base coat with accelerator. I've actually got some. I've got some accelerator, so that might be a shout to put some because it's all cement based. So I might put some accelerator in this. You've actually given me ideas, mate. I like this. I like this bouncing ideas around because I've got some accelerator there for cement, so I might put some of that in this base coat myself anyway tomorrow and give it a whirl of the eye bar. Brucey bonus, trust me, KI17 scrape's lovely. I found it's the straightest I can get. A wall is still not perfect, but on a big gable, they never are. No, that's it, mate. Well, not unless you want to start flipping screeding it out and what have you. But is your phone stand a 6-pack? No, it should be. It should be. No, what I tell you what it is. I put my phone is in like this little tripod thing, but it's only about that big, and ultimately it's not a good camera angle because I don't know, you're down there. Otherwise, it's just a little box that the microphone came in. I've just plonked it on top of that for the time being until I get a decent phone stand. I did have a proper stand that stood up, but the hinge went on it, so more of a pain in the ass because it kept falling over when I was on live streams. I'll to move back to the fine art of TIG welding now. What time you start live on Sundays? Usually about 8. I used to go for 7, but I'm always, by the time I've finished work, come home, have something to eat, have my little kip. 7s was just too early for me, so I think 8 o'clock lives is when I do my lives on Sundays. Hey King Hope 09. Hail King Hope. Hi, how you doing, mate? How's the move computers? Yeah. Oh, okay. So your mate builds computers. Okay, yeah. It's well, I think if he builds them, that might ultimately be a lot cheaper than me flipping buying one off the shelf, and he'd be able to make one that's good for editing. So yeah, let us know, Alistair. You know, I'm not a minge bag, mate. So if you know whatever the man wants, if he knows what I want to do, you know, it needs to have quite good memory for all the video footage. I had to get a little memory card for my phone actually because I couldn't fit. If I'd made a video for more than an hour, I couldn't edit it on my phone because my phone didn't have enough flipping brain power. So I've had to go and spend about 100 quid for a little SD card with 1 terabyte on it. And because I just said, give me the most I can get. Just it's not worth messing around. Just give me the best. Just want the best. You know, if I'm going to buy, I'll rather. What's the point of spending 50 quid if I can spend 100 and have the best? You know, just give me. So I've got a terabyte of storage on my phone now, so I don't seem to struggle for space, but it still glitches out. That's the thing. There's memory and RAM. I don't fucking know what's what, but anyway, yeah. Apparently, I just need a laptop to do my editing. Matter Smith, how do you get nicks out of a trowel? Use another trowel. Iron sharpens iron, as the old saying goes. There's a few things you can do. You can sand it out. I've got nicks out before now. If I've clipped my trowel on a screw or something, I've rubbed it on the corner of a brick on the side of the house. You know what? This is when I was doing site work. Just keep rubbing it over the nick. Just keep bump, 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 bump. You know, the nick's just going over and over the same spot, and it'll eventually rub out. But I've also got 2 trowels. Like how you sharpen knives. You've seen like chefs with 2 knives doing a similar thing, rubbing the 2 blades up and down each other. That also gets rid of nicks out your trowel. I mean, there's probably loads of ways, probably better ways than oil stone, you know, but I'm just sort of talking about when I'm on site and it happens and I need to do it there and then. That's what I've done in the past. Harry, going back to Charles, which would you recommend for the beginner? One of them perma-shaped ones rather than flexible. Cheers, Harry. Yeah, 100%, mate. Don't get a flexible trowel, mate. Just don't get one. It'll seem like it's harder to do a nice job with a true trowel rather than a flexi. But the thing is, it's because you're doing a nicer job. You're getting the wall straighter. So I would recommend go and get yourself a Marshalltown. If you don't want to sort of worry about any rust on your trowel, get a stainless steel. And for the beginner, I use a 14-inch trowel. And that's what I started my apprenticeship with years and years ago, was a 14-inch trowel. And then I went to a 16 and an 18 and a 22 and all that's flipping nonsense. And now I use a 14-inch trowel. So your 14 inches golden. I mean, I can do as much plastering as I want with a 14-inch trowel. I'll probably get a 14-inch by 5 or a 14-inch by 4 3/4. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter what width it is, really. I use a 4-inch wide trowel because I get wrist pain, what I used to, and I found with a thinner trowel I get less pain. Well, no pain now. So that's why I use a 4-inch wide. But 14-inch Marshalltown, make sure it's slightly curved the right way, you know. When I say curved the right way, imagine that's the bottom of the trowel and there's the handle on this side. You want the trowel to be curved like that, you know. Not the corners touching the wall first, not concave because it'll dig in. You want it slightly, ever so slightly curved back. Convex, I think it is. Logan recently plastered a big room in Manchester Metropolitan University. 200 square foot ceiling was a nightmare. Flipping bed it was, mate. You were sweating. Eric, I built mine. $2,000 for parts, $6,000 to buy off the shelf. Yeah, there we go. Sounds great. Alistair, leave it with me. I'll have a word. He built his own. Fantastic. All right, Alistair, thank you, mate. You're a gentleman. Thank you very much. And Eric built his from watching YouTube videos. Never did anything before like that in my life. Yeah, hey, I'm open to. I'll try things. You know what I mean? I'll have a dabble. Omar, that's a new one for me. For me, I don't know. Forgot what we were saying. Yeah, if it didn't work, the wife was going to kill you. Yeah, definitely. A couple of £1,000 in. Harry, brilliant. Thank you, matey. Yeah. Galaxy, name a country for a free edit. I don't know what you mean by a free edit, but Germany. Germany's my favourite country. So whilst we're talking about countries as well, if you ever want to go on a little trip and you're stuck for somewhere, you can't decide where you want to go, highly recommend you get yourselves to the Black Forest in Germany. Especially if you like good service, if you like people not bullshitting you and giving you loads of hassle. Last thing I want is to be walking down the street with people dragging me kids into shops and trying to sell me flipping crap that I don't want and fake stuff. I can't be doing with all that nonsense. The markets and the Medinas and flipping all the flipping whatever they have. The Germans leave you alone, okay? They call you Mr. Johnstone. They serve you an amazing quality beer. Everywhere's immaculate. The Black Forest is like south. The climate's perfect. You're not going to scorch to death. You know, you can walk around in the day. You can sunbathe. It's warm. It's lovely. I can't recommend the place enough. It's so efficient. I fly into Stuttgart. This is how you do a trip to Germany, by the way, if you go to the Black Forest. Fly into Stuttgart. That's all you do. Don't do anything. Just get a flight to Stuttgart. Okay? Don't even book a return. Don't even need to worry about it. Just fly to Stuttgart Airport. Go down with your, make sure you've got your credit card with you. Go and hire yourself a nice Audi or a BM. Drive to the Black Forest. Head to a place called Baden-Baden or Baden-Württemberg. In fact, anywhere in the Black Forest. Doesn't matter where you go. Just head there. Find yourself a nice little pub to have a few beers. Scout the place out. Pick the nicest bed and breakfast or hotel that's in sight and go and stay there and enjoy yourself. When you've had enough, drive back to the airport, book your flight online, drive back and just fly back home again. That's how I roll in Germany. Flipping great. Stay in one place. You can drive around the Black Forest in a day, but it's just like loads of little villages in the forest, and it's absolutely everywhere you look. You can take a photograph and it belongs on a postcard. The place is picturesque. The people are lovely. Can't fault the place, mate. You won't get any hassle whatsoever. There's no crime. There's no nonsense. It's just, and the beer. Oh, the beer is the best in the world. Every little place in the Black Forest has got its own. And the only way I can describe the beer is like it just tastes like it's made in heaven. Okay, you'll never taste beer like it. It's perfect. And I'll tell you another nice thing as well. When you go in the bars there, you get your beer mats like that on your table, and the barmaid, who will be gorgeous, by the way, the gorgeous barmaid will serve your beer and put a little mark on your beer mat like that, and you can go outside, you can go on your phone, you can run, no one bats an eyelid, okay? And you'll drink all night, and you won't even put your hand in your pocket. They'll put little marks on your beer mat like that, and at the end of the night, you pay your bill, and that's it, and you go home. Mint. There's no hassle getting served at the bar because there's no one going to the till and sorting everything out. It's just a little pen mark on your beer mat. Omar. My new child is currently sitting in vinegar. Apparently forces a patina, so don't rush so much. Never tried one of Alex Morley's tips. Anyone ever done this? Yeah, it does. Yeah, vinegar. It will. Doesn't force in a bad way. It'll turn the blade of your child black, but ultimately it'll go black over time anyway. But hey, there's no harm in doing it. I mean, ultimately, there's another interesting thing. Even when it's got a patina, the bottom of my trowel, my carbon steel trowel, is black. But if I leave my trowel, I don't use it for a week or two, it will still get rust on it. But don't even worry about the rust. It doesn't matter. Literally, you get a little bit of surface rust. I've literally just pulled a trowel back out out of retirement, and it was a carbon steel trowel. It's been hung up in my van for where there's damp buckets all the time, you know, and it's been flipping building rust up on it for probably I've got about, I don't know, 10 trowels hung up in my van, countless trowels in here, and it had a big coat of rust on it. I literally just put it on the floor, done, started using it, fine. So don't even worry about the rust. It's literally not an issue. My dad used to soak a rag in oil, dry his trowel off, wrap an oily rag around it, you know, tuck it into its little bed in his van, and all this nonsense. Just leave it. Just the next morning, it's ready to go. Rub it on the floor, it's ready to go. So, and in fact, my trowel, because I use it every day, doesn't get rust on it. It's like, I just use it and it's just fine. Never even have to rub it. It's only if I leave it for a week or two. Are you going straight to work after this live, mate? Yeah, probably. What time is it? 12:30. I'll be calling it at about 1 o'clock, I think. Boomer Gilston, you have a thick accent. Sorry, mate. I do apologise. And it's funny, isn't it? Because whenever you don't hear your own accent, so to me, speaking, I think I sound like the people on TV, you know, just a normal English accent. Oh, hello. But apparently to everybody else, I sound like a Scouser. The only person I don't sound like a Scouser to is Scousers, because their accent is proper Scouse, mate. You know what I mean, lads? It's proper Scouse. So, and Scousers as well. From where I'm in Ellesmere Port, which is more closer to Chester. I'm actually, if you look where Liverpool is and then where Chester is, Ellesmere Port, we are like on the border of Chester, which ultimately is on the border to Wales. So I'm closer to Wales than what I am to Liverpool. And all we ever get off the Scousers is telling us that we're woolly-backs, which is an insult, by the way, in case you didn't know. They call us wolves or woolly-backs. But yeah, everyone always says I'm a Scouser, but no. Whenever you go on holiday, from Liverpool, are you, mate? You're actually insulting Scousers by saying that because they don't like us. Anyway, who's in work tomorrow, boys? Why are you all up so late? Don't you know it's been 12:30 at night? I've got a little 4-pack before. We were sort of had to go and sort a few things out tonight, different jobs, go and view jobs. So ultimately, I didn't really get the time. I like to go for a few pints after work, but I didn't have time, so I just grabbed a 4-pack on the way home because my mum was coming round, and I've been busy doing flipping group call in my private coaching group, and then I haven't had time to even drink my beers, so now is the time I'm having them. And it just so happens that you guys are with me. Cheers. Who's in work tomorrow then? Apart from me. And what you're doing. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Right, I found this new feature on here. Let me just see if this works. Start a poll, right? Have a look at this. Let's find out who's who. Be interesting to know who my audience is. So I've just put a little poll on there now. See if you can see that poll. Are you a plasterer? So we'll see who's plasterers and who isn't plasterers. That'll be interesting. Howard Morris went driving in Black Forest this year. Stunning place. Ended up in Switzerland. Yes. Do you know the mad thing as well? I've just been to Switzerland, and we had a gentleman seen all my videos on YouTube, and was sort of messaging me, and we chatted back and forth. Anyway, it turns out he lives in Switzerland. The fella flew us out, me and Kieran, booked us plane tickets. We flew out to Switzerland, plastered his ceilings for him. We were there 4 days, took us out, fed us, took us to the lake. We went round Switzerland, round Zurich. We did all sorts of great stuff, plastered all his ceilings, and then he flew us back again. So Switzerland is also a gorgeous place that I would recommend going. But all I'd say is weigh in your flipping missus's jewellery before you go, because a pint of beer was about 14 quid. So it's a little bit cheaper in the Black Forest. It's not quite as expensive as Switzerland. Switzerland's gorgeous, but costs you an arm and leg to go there. Lovely place, yeah, it is, mate, yeah. Eric's skimming a lounge in this morning. Oh, Pedro Stoke, bricklayer, wet trades. Do you know what, mate? Flipping fair play to you, brickies. I mean, I get sick of rendering work, and the thing that pisses me off of rendering is the weather. You know, it's too hot, scorched, it's too cold. You know, it's pissing down. I like working in it. I must admit, I do like working in the winter. I like it when there's a nice frost on the grass in the morning. I love going to work when it's like that, and I don't mind working outside in the cold. But the weather, mate, the rain, that drives me nuts. So I always try and run rendering jobs, coincide them with internal work. You brickies, mate, I feel for you, because start must do your flipping head in, mate. Howard, yeah, watch your video on that. Look brilliant, very clean and expensive. 100%, mate. It's definitely expensive. What's this? Oh. Alistair Booth, gonna have a crack at plastering. Got the trowel, speed skim. So when tried, fucked it up. I'll get you to come and put it right and give you new tools. Sam, Alistair, not a problem. What do you do, Alistair? What do you do if you're not a plasterer, mate? It'd be interesting to know, because it's interesting for me. This, I must admit, it is interesting, because you know I sort of do videos on plastering and stuff, and I'd assume that everyone that watches them would be plasterers, or you know, people training to plaster, or what have you. But it's interesting to me. I just find it fascinating that there's people that watch plastering videos that don't do plastering at all, you know, the office jobs and stuff. So let's have a look now. We've got 15 votes. See, that's mad. That's mad. 15 votes, and 53% of you guys aren't plasterers. So interesting. What do I do? Press that there. Oh shit! I don't know what I pressed. You're back again. I don't know how to make that flipping go away now. And that. There we go. Uncle Bob, Painter and decorator, done a little bit of plastering jobs, but nothing big. Yeah, you guys end up flipping trying to sort. Do you know what I feel so for painters and decorators as well? Because to be fair, I've seen some shocking plastering jobs, and you guys have to make it look right, don't you? So fair play to you. Out of plump, taught myself plastering, so not a plasterer per se. Well, if you can do the job, mate. Yeah, do you know, I sort of learned to plaster from my dad. You can only learn the basics of plastering from somebody. They can only teach you the basic principles. It's ultimately up to you, because there's no set way of plastering. You know, there's not like a specific set in stone way that you have to skim walls. You know, you can come up with your own little system. So, I mean, just because you're self-taught doesn't mean you're not a plasterer. I've worked with plasterers that are self-taught. One of my dad's mates, Brian Griffiths, he's a self-taught fella. Fantastic plasterer. Flipping spot on. In fact, you know, I'd watch Brian and I've picked things up from him. I've learned, you know, my dad taught me. My dad went to the City and Guilds in college and all sorts. When he was younger, he was an apprentice for a big building firm, and he put him with two different plasterers to get the best of both of these guys. And my dad taught me, but I learned more from other fellas over the years, you know, and the likes of Brian, who taught himself. So don't put yourself down, mate. Alan, kitchen fitter, joiner by trade. You guys make it look too easy. Yeah, it's like riding a bike, mate. It's just like riding a bike. Alistair, I'm a multi-coded ASME welder. Worked in oil, gas, petrochemical, nuclear. Now weld, aerospace, even worked on submarines. Wow. That's flipping nuts. So, Alistair, I've got well, I was going to say a few mates. When I say mates, a few fellas that I know welding. One fella, Steve McAvoy, he started in the welding game, and then he went to, I don't know how he got into it, but he started diving, and then he was doing underwater welding. And now, I mean, I grew up on a council estate, and he lived over the road with his parents, a bit older than me. Really nice bloke, but it's like, you know, I mean, I wouldn't say he's a millionaire, but he's definitely flipping. He's made out the rat race doing his underwater welding. He's really flipping done well for himself. And then another guy who's worked doing, I'm sure they do pipelines all over Africa. I mean, it's quite funny. This fella he's Pete, lovely guy. He's about, I don't know, 67, 68, something like that. He's worked all over Africa, welding pipes, and he's come back to the UK. And I remember when he first come back, he brought his new wife home, and she must have been about 27. You know, stunning African girl. Yeah, you know, he was head over heels in love, and I think she was just sort of like. But anyway. Omar, Irish plasterer, going to bed. Good night, Kirk. And chat, have a good one. Yeah, take it easy, Omar. I'm going to wind it in myself, mate, in about, well, when I finish this beer. To be honest with you, lads, because I have my little siesta, it doesn't really make it. I mean, I can literally stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning and wake up at 7 tomorrow and be fine. And I'd just come home from work and have a kip and sleep for an extra 2 hours. Don't know. Never really struggled. Some people say they can't sleep and stuff, but for me, it doesn't really. I can sleep at any time, I could sleep on a washing, so I never really feel tired because I just get a kip when I need one. Nomad Scouser, I'm a jobber, started labouring on plasterers. We got put on price work, so to get the job done quicker, I used to lay on for them, and after a couple of months, I was travelling up. Flipping spot on. Dave Noble, qualified in plastering, fibrous, bricklaying, welding, plumbing, electrical, but never did any as a living, actually. Working communications. Wow, Dave, that's nuts. Interesting stuff though, Dave. I'm qualified as a plasterer, obviously. Taught by plasterers, MVQs in plastering. But I actually went and I didn't want to work for my dad. So I was forced to work for my old fella from a very early age. You know, as soon as I started high school, Dave, I was my weekends and school holidays were gone. That was it. I was going to work with my dad, and ultimately, my dad, a bit of a scoundrel, used to blag me into having days off school if he had a big job on, so I'd go and help him. You know, instead of going to school, I'd go with my dad instead, which my mum didn't really ever say because my dad's old school. You know, if what he said went, so it wasn't like my mum would argue the case and send me to school. It was like, you know, the lad's staying off. I need him on a job with me, so that's just how it was. But I didn't like working with my dad. My dad, I love the bones of him. Only a little guy, short guy, fiery temper like you wouldn't believe. And when you're young, someone with that much aggression in them is quite intimidating. I'm painting a picture here, and I'm sure you're going to understand what I'm trying to say, because I'm trying to say this in such a way that it doesn't hurt my dad's reputation. Okay, so I hope you understand what I'm saying. Little guy, angry, young lad. Oh, okay, Dad, I'll do what you want. As you get older and you grow and you're bigger, you know, you sort of say, don't flipping even start at you. Shut it. So, now, I love the bones of my old fella, so don't get me wrong. But yeah, I didn't want to work with my dad. So when I left school, I was trying to get away. You know, I was like, this fella's like flipping. You know, I moved out when I was like 17, moved out the house and that, still working as a plasterer with my dad, but I was like, I can't live with you, man. You're too much. You know, flipping things were happening at home, flipping holes in the walls, things getting smashed up and all sorts. Yeah, he's hard work, my old fella. And he's still, I don't know what's wrong with him. I love the bones of him. His life, he's got no stress, but he's still angry. He's got like a deep anger, my dad. I don't know what upset him, but there's something in there, and he's just not happy. Doesn't matter what it is. He has to have an enemy. Doesn't matter where he is. He's got to have someone that he's fighting against all the time. So it's just how he is. It's just his nature. So I digress. I actually tried to get into the army. I wanted to go as a driver in the army, and then that didn't end up happening because just as I was doing that, it all kicked off with September the 11th, Afghanistan. So I sort of got talked out of that because I'd just be cannon fodder. But my dad said, don't go there, son, because you'll just be cannon fodder. So I never ended up doing that. So I went to college and got me City and Guilds as an electrician. But I was working as a plasterer, and I'd done plastering my whole sort of childhood, if you will. Went to college, got me City and Guilds as an electrician. But then I was already earning great money plastering. Don't forget, I was like, 16, 17 now, and I'm like, because I've spent my whole childhood plastering, I'm really up to speed. So I'm bashing the meters out, and I'm getting paid top dollar. So to start an electrician's apprenticeship would mean I'd have to take a massive pay cut to start at the bottom, which never happened. So qualified spark, I understand how to do, wire houses, change consumer units, whatever, but it's just nice to sort of have an understanding. What happens now is, though, I find when I go to jobs, and the electrician's been in, and he's tried to pull the wool over the customer's eyes. Oh no, you can't have that. No, you can't do that. That socket has to be there, or that switch can't be moved. And no, it can. Don't. And when I sort of tell him what he should do, he's like, how does he not? I don't crack onto people. I don't let people know really, but that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to electrics. But yeah, when they're sort of saying, oh, it's got to be they've got to have a switch fuse spur for the sockets, for the lighting. Like no, do it properly, mate. Break into the lighting circuit or run back to the board and put a new feed in for the. You know what I'm saying? Right, I've lost very much of the comments. Howard Morris. How do you get away with having a kip when you get my missus has me doing all sorts? Howard, look, mate, look where I am. I'm coming here. I've literally built my own little house in the back garden. So I just come in and lock the door, and that's it. I've got behind that curtain over there. There's a little toilet in there behind that little loop. Self-contained little building, so I just come in here and have a little siesta. And that's it, mate. Merlin Suez, hello, hey, how you doing, Merlin? You okay, mate? Dave Noble started college in '74. Enjoyed college so much, I just kept going and stopped early '90s. Mate, I'm probably similar mindset to you. I love learning. I just love it. I love educating myself. I'm a bookworm. What tends to happen with me, though, because I've got, what are we up to now? My outgoings are quite intense, so I have to pretty much just keep working all the time, mate. I would love to go and do more stuff and learn more stuff in college and courses and stuff, but I have to just keep bringing them that bacon every week. So I tend to educate myself by reading. I've literally got like books and books all over the place, mate. I just love reading and learning. But yeah, we're currently at 4 kids, 6 horses, 2 dogs, 3 cats, and a sheep, and a wife that all need feeding on a daily basis. So, and a house to keep, a van, a van and 3 cars. So I'm basically the only one that works in my family. You know, well, when I say that, no, my missus has got a little job. She does pony parties, but you know, the insurance and the animal handler's license from the council costs more each year than what she makes, but she enjoys doing it. You know, she loves kids and she loves animals, so her business sort of like it doesn't work at a loss, but it breaks even, like nothing gained, nothing lost. But she likes doing it. She feels like she's got a purpose. And my 20-year-old daughter's got like a little sort of job that's like minimum wage, but she needs topping up. You know. There you go, sweetheart. There you go, sweetheart. Dad, I'm going out. There you go, sweetheart. You know, so it's basically me keeping everyone going. So you can imagine, I don't have the luxury of going on day release to college because I have to pretty much work 6-7 days a week just to keep this whole show on the road, you know. Howard Morris, that's ace. I need to follow suit. Jealous. Listen. My missus, like, I love the bones of her, but she's she can be quite high maintenance sometimes. So I sort of I just needed a little spot for me, you know, a little place where I can come in here. And you know what, as well, she kept saying to me, "Are you gonna plaster it all nice? Are you gonna have like all spotlights and make it all fancy in there?" It's like, no, there will be no plaster in my little workshop here. There's not a single thing plastered. All I do every day is plaster. I said the last thing I want to see when I come in here is, I don't want to look at any plastering. Imagine me plastering in here and then having to sit here and look at a little, you know, if a little hairline crack appeared or something, it'd drive me nuts. I'm like, no, it's rustic. It's just burnt wood, and I want everything surface mounted. All my electrics, you know, look. All my electrics are all surface mounted. Everything. If I want to fix things to the walls, I can put a screw wherever I want. It just fixes solid because everything's timber. It's insulated. I've got 70mm insulation and everything, so it's cozy. Oh, give you a little tour here. Got a infrared heater up there, electric heater down under my desk. It's pucker, mate. Just how I've got it. Just how I want it. Can't complain. And ultimately, all in all, it's basically the full length of my garden. So what we saw, I'd say it's about 10 meters long by about 3.5 wide. I've dug down a little bit, concrete base. It's got engineering brick so high, and then I built a timber frame and put like composite cladding outside to make it look nice, double glazed doors and all the rest of it. I've put those imitation slate tiles on the roof. It's all, you know, proper job. I think the total bill, all in all, for all the materials and everything I've had to pay out. It's somewhere around about 10k. But I did it over time, you know. It wasn't like one big push. I sort of did it through COVID and the lockdown and stuff, so didn't seem to really feel it, you know, just like just kept chipping away at it until it was done. Howard Morris, that's easy. Need to follow suit. Yeah, Dave, all my college evenings. Yeah, no, flipping. Do you know what, Dave? I'm genuinely not making excuses. I would love to go and do more in college. Yeah, proper cushy, looks mint. So I'll tell you where I'm at now. I've got my business to run, which, as you know, anyone self-employed knows, it takes up a lot of time. Pricing jobs, organising lads, flipping all the bullshit that goes along with doing your tax returns and all, you know, it all sort of takes time. Paperwork takes time, invoicing, all the rest of it. So that keeps me quite busy anyway, just doing that. Editing YouTube videos takes flipping hours and hours, depending on how good you want the videos, takes hours and hours and hours. And off the back of YouTube, I've been running like a little sales and marketing course for lads, because what I found is a lot of fellas learn the trade, you know, bricklaying, joinery, whatever, you know, they're fantastic at the trade. But what seems to be the situation, not many lads get taught how to sell themselves, how to market themselves well. And I've ultimately, over the years, paid to be coached, join different courses and different groups, and learn to be, you know, a good salesman. Or, well, I'm saying probably crap, but I don't seem to struggle getting jobs, you know. So I've made this little course, little group for other guys to join, and you know, that takes up a heck of a lot of time. You know, it's like a monthly subscription where they pay £1 a day, and they're in a little private group with me, and I show them like a step-by-step social media plan, how to get the business listed #1 on Google, how to price jobs, how to, you know, find common ground with customers and salesmanship skills to, you know, really make sure that they secure the job when they go and meet the customer, how to add value, you know, to show them that you're an expert in your field and all that sort of stuff. So that takes quite a bit of time as well. So I'm quite busy doing the group, my YouTube, and my work sort of consumes all me and my family. That I've literally got no time left to do any sort of college at the minute, mate, you know. But I'm not trying to make excuses, it's just where I'm at. Right. It's like a counselling session for me, this. I would feel better now I've got that off my chest. Guys, should we rack it in anyway? It's 10 to 1. Because I'm yapping, I'm not drinking. I'd normally just be sitting here now with the music on. But what do you listen to anyway? What are you? What do you? Like, there's 40 lads online now. Give me 40 answers. What is your go-to music? I'll tell you what I like. I'm not into all the modern stuff. I'll listen to it. Young Kieran has it all on. But my thing is, I like a bit of like country music, you know. Kenny Rogers. I like a bit of Johnny Cash. But I'll tell you, the band that I really do like is the Dead South. If you like your country music, go and find a band called the Dead South. They're flipping great, mate. How would you work? I can see that. I'm in the same boat. I'm the main breadwinner 6 days a week. I'm not complaining. Do you know what I mean? I think here's my take on it. I believe that every man has a purpose to provide and protect for his loved ones. That is my role. That's what I genuinely believe is my purpose in life, is to provide for and protect that little bunch of people in there, you know. They're my flipping what I look after. And what I find is, I think if you're not working, if a man isn't providing, or he's not taking care of his family and look after them, I feel like if I have too long off work, I seem to go off the rails, you know. If I'm not in work, then it all seems to start sliding sideways. I think like work's structured in my life, and I'm quite content. I'm quite happy looking after them, you know. I feel quite fulfilled in doing it. So when people think I'm complaining sometimes, I'm not a bragger. I'm not trying to brag, but I'm quite proud of the fact that I give them a really nice life. You know, it sort of makes me feel quite important, like I need like some sort of status. But the fact that I know my kids have, you know, you go out, ride the ponies, and they do stuff, you know, and it's all of it comes off the back of my hard work. Ultimately, you know, I'm not. No one's ever given me nothing. I've been working on building sites and all sorts of sort of 15 years old. It's funny. I was a jack the lad in school. I've got no GCSEs. I literally didn't even pick my grades up. So I'm like, you know, as far as the curriculum and the you know, I'm thick, but it's just because I wasn't interested in school. So the fact that somebody with no GCSEs and stuff, you know, I feel like I'm doing okay. I feel like I'm providing quite well for someone that's not that flipping academically minded. Who've we got here? Pink Floyd. I'm not really into Floyd. Fleetwood Mac, though, I do like them. I'll tell you who I've been listening to. Oh, I'll tell you a song that I do like. That I just find myself keep playing it on YouTube all the time. REO Speedwagon, Take It on the Run. That, for me, I mean, I like the country music, but a bit of REO Speedwagon, Take It on the Run, that's a great tune. I like that. 80s All Day Long, John Johnson, Dave Noble, Pink Floyd, yeah, Alistair Booth. We have radio on through roof speakers, all 70s and 80s. Howard Morris, I flipped from Erasure to Spice Girls, a bit of Wham. I love a bit of camp music at work, just to piss my lad off, but we love all music, really. Yeah, fair dues. Stiff rock, Mac lads, 90s house music, bit of modern melodic house techno. Yeah, I mean, I like all the dance stuff, Scouse house, and all that sort of stuff, but must admit, yeah, I do. I just, I'll tell you what I like as well. Cat Stevens, Bruce Springsteen, Dolly Parton. Now everyone thinks Dolly Parton 9 to 5, but Dolly was a prolific songwriter. If you ever get into listening to country music, put a bit of Dolly on and listen to some of the other music that she's written. Everyone just thinks straight away 9 to 5, but she's got a vast amount of songs that she's written. In fact, what was that one? Remember the film The Bodyguard? Remember The Bodyguard? And they sang that song, didn't they? That the theme tune to The Bodyguard, the film, and it was. I'm sure it was. Wasn't Shania Twain? It's on the tip of me flipping tongue. The theme tune to the film The Bodyguard was written by Dolly Parton. That song that flipping everybody knows. I can't even think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't even think of it. But anyway, Dolly Parton wrote that, and she said she made more money from that song than most of the songs that she sang herself. Was it Celine Dion sang it? Yeah, I'm sure it's Celine Dion. I don't know. You'll figure it out anyway. Google The Bodyguard and then follow the trail. You'll see what I mean. I Will Always Love You. That's it. I Will Always Love You was written by Dolly, and she wrote it for. She was on a show, Dolly, when she first started out. She was on like a talk show, like a country and western show. Wagner, the Port and Wagner show, I think it was called. Anyway, she left that show and she wrote that song for him, and they fell out anyway. They ultimately fell out, but they were friends again at the end. But that's what it was. She was leaving that show and she wrote that song for him, and then I think it was Celine Dion that sang it, and Dolly kept 50% of the royalties from that song, and she said she made more money from that song than pretty much any other song that she did. Whitney Houston, that was it. Flipping. Sorry. Whitney Houston, Celine Dion. Oh, what doesn't help is these are all before my era, so I'm just going off what I've flipping learned. You know, maybe you fellas grew up listening to these. Like, I've just started listening to them myself. You know, my younger days were like Michael Jackson, PDC Darts Daily. Up Kirk. That's it. Howard Whitney. Uncle Bob. My mum played that at my dad's funeral. Oh, mate. Made me feel emotional just reading that comment, mate. I can imagine that being a bit of a fair play. Alistair Booth, heard a Dolly classic years ago. It was on TV program called OTT. It was called I'd Love to Feel Dolly Parton's Tits. I bet it was Chubby Brown that sang that, wasn't it? Howard going to get some Kip Kirk. I'll get me beers ready for Sunday night. Have a good week, mates. Yeah, take it easy, pal. Sean, anything before the 2000 scene? Sorry, Sean scene. I don't know. Everyone pronounces it differently, don't they, mate? So anything before the 2000s, yeah, definitely. Music was just better, wasn't it? Hey, 70s and 80s, wasn't music just better? I think the crap that they turn out nowadays, flipping Sam Smith dressed as a flipping pig or whatever he dresses out. Don't even get me started. Harry came up on our pub quiz the other day. Why UB40 are called UB40? I thought it was a wind-up. Harry, before you answer, I'm sure the UB40 was, because I like UB40, I'm sure the UB40 was a name of the form that you had to fill in to go on the dole. Would I have won the quiz? Give us the answer, Harry. Let me know. Let me know if I'm right why UB40 are called. Yeah, correct. There we go. Hey, like a font of knowledge, aren't I? You thought it was just a plastering channel. Is it not WD-40? No. And I'll tell you that one as well. WD-40 stands for water displacement, or water displacer 40th attempt. Boo! Go on, next one. Tina De Silva. Hi there. How you doing, Tina? Are you okay, mate? Tina's probably just stumbled across this channel now thinking, what the hell is going on here? Who is this guy? Oh. Tina, do you know who I am? Do you know where you are, Tina? I'm good, thanks. How are you? Yeah, I'm good, Tina. I'm all right, thanks, hon. Sorry for saying hon, actually. I'm presuming that you're a lady with Tina, but I know sometimes people log on and they're on the missus' account, so sorry if that sounds weird. Where are you from? I'm little town, Ellesmere Port, between, I'll tell you where I am. Say a little town, Ellesmere Port, we are between Chester and Liverpool. Now, Ellesmere Port is quite an important place. Ultimately, we have a massive oil refinery called Stanlow, so we supply most of the country, well, most of the centre of the country with fuel and oil. We have Urenco, where we enrich uranium just up the road in Capenhurst. It's about 4 miles from my house. So any sort of nuclear submarines, nuclear power stations, your nuclear rods come from here. We also have Vauxhall Motors. So any cars, any Vauxhall cars, vans are either made in Luton or here. Yeah. Ellesmere Port, special little town. We used to have Scots and make all loads of corrugated metal. So most of the corrugated steel used to come from Ellesmere Port as well. Blue Planet Aquarium and Cheshire Oaks. If you've ever heard of the Blue Planet Aquarium, where you can swim with the sharks, I could literally walk that way for about 10 minutes and I'll be on the doorstep. Michael Lawton, Evening Kirk. Tina, I'm a female. Yes, just flicking through lives. I'm from Grimsby. Okay, Tina. So, Tina, just to fill you in case you're wondering what the hell's going on, this is on the trial. This is a plastering channel. I usually just do plastering videos and do plastering Q&As. Helping people with the plastering, or probably just entertaining other plasterers that I don't know. Anyway, plastering channel. I got this little sign made by a young lady, and I was just checking that when we come on lives, it's the right way around. So I jumped on a live to ask people if that's the right way around, if you can read it, or if it's the mirror image. And then anyway, we got chatting. We've been having a few beers, and here we are. So if you're flicking through lives and you've come across this, I do apologise. It's probably like when you walk into a pub and you open the door and everyone looks at you and you think, oh, where the hell am I? It's probably a similar situation for what you've just walked into. Oh. Sounds good fun. Yeah, fair dues. Basically, Tina, just a load of hairy ass blokes talking about plastering, but seeing as you're here, it's nice to have you. Where's Grimsby anyway? I'm not very good with geography. Is it nice up there? Or down there? I don't know whereabouts it is. John Johnston. I do, John. John, you're just missing an E. If you had a little E on the end of that Johnston, that'd be a flipping great name then. Northeast. Oh, right, okay. Yes, you're across. I'm northwest, so you're not. Well, you are far, but you. Okay. 1 o'clock. I need to stop yapping, drink this, and go to bed, really. What a night. Drinking Bud is the worst. I'm a Peroni fan. Yeah, Tina, I'm with you. Tell you what the thing is, right? I love beer. Nothing better than me than a hard day's graft and then watching the dust down before I come home. What I found is I usually drink Moretti, Peroni, all these strong lagers. Don't half give me bad acid reflux, so I've had to just move to the weaker stuff, just so that I don't. Because I'm like, even now I get a little bit gassy off it, but I mean, drinking Moretti. The minute I have a pint of Moretti, I'm like literally getting acid instantly. So I've just had to knock it in the head. I've just had to say, okay, can't have it no more. That's the end of that. So yeah, sorry about the Budweiser, especially out of cans as well. My missus says you don't half look like a flipping tramp drinking out of cans. You just have nice cold bottles, but you get more in a can, don't you? Out of Plum. What's the weather forecast tomorrow? Your way, Kirk. Apparently it's nice, mate. Apparently it's nice, but look at Google weather. I mean, you flipping look 1 hour and tomorrow's rendering job looks good. 15 minutes later, it's forecast thunderstorms, so you never know, do you? I mean, just play it by ear. Lager Top Cure that. John, I'll give that a whirl, mate. I'll give it a whirl. Dave Noble, it's been a great 30 seconds. Thanks, Kirk. Yeah. Alistair Move, have you tried Peretti? Yes. So, Alistair, where I like going for look, I'll tell you, I have tried Peretti yet. They sell it in the Labour Club. So there's quite a few pubs in Ellesmere Port. And what I don't like is, Alistair, I don't mind mixing with all the idiots. I can fit in with all the dickheads, all the gangsters and the tough kids and all the pubs in the port. Basically where I am, Ellesmere Port's not the most affluent of areas. So when you go out for a drink around the port and you go into any boozer, you end up with cokeheads, gangsters, drug dealers, all, and I can't be doing with it, mate. I can fit in, you know what I mean? But I'd rather finish work and just go and just chill out somewhere, relax, a few quiet beers, game of snooker, have a bit of a chat. Ellesmere Port Labour Club is golden. It's full of old boys. I can go in there. It's immaculate, it's dead relaxed. And they sell Peretti in there as well. So I've had a few pints of it, mate. But I must admit, it don't know. I think it gives me a bit of a hangover, but maybe because I'm not used to it, But yeah, I have had it, mate. Yeah. Tina, I'll bid you a good night and be on my way. Take care. Yeah. Thanks for dropping in, Tina. We'll maybe see you in the future. Take care, love. Alistair, love early doors. Yeah, they're the best, aren't they, Alistair? Just finish work. Nothing better than a nice pint as soon as you finish work, A couple of cold ones. Two pints is just the ticket in it, I think. 2 pints after work, you can't beat it. The only thing is, I don't like stopping. And do you know what's mad as well? When you're younger, you just welly them down, don't you? And you're pissed. I literally can finish work. I could literally just carry on drinking because I drink at such a pace where I don't get drunk, you know, and like my body sort of processes. As I'm saying it, I can't get my words up. It's talking shit. My body seems to process it as fast as I drink it because I'm a slow drinker. So I can seem to finish work and drink, and I could sort of drink all night until I go to bed, but I don't get drunk. Obviously, I get a bit tipsy, but you know. Oh, anyway. Oh. Boys, anyway. Come on. Get to bed. It's 1:10. What's it come to, gents? What's it come to? We're sat here. We're sat here talking to me in my fucking shed drinking beer. I don't know who's worse. I don't know if I'm worse or you lot are worse. Uncle Bob, not many pubs to go to in my area now. A day all the pubs have gone was about 12 back in the 80s. Now we have 3. Yeah, mate, it's sad, isn't it? Same here. All we've got now, we have got Wetherspoons, and we've got a few privately owned pubs. But yeah, loads and loads of them have gone. It's going more and more eating houses, you know. The working man's pub is flipping dying off. I think genuinely, my generation, I'm 37. I think my generation will be the last pub generation. I think, like my daughter, she's 20. I think it'll be like clubs and nightclubs and eating houses. I think the working man's pub will be gone. Young Kieran, who works for me, he's 20, doesn't drink. Loads of his mates are the same. They just don't drink. They just don't like it. Don't do alcohol. You know, who knows what else they get up to, but they don't drink. So, I mean, young Kieran doesn't do nothing naughty. He's you know, it's not into nothing really. But yeah, I think the pubs after my generation, mate, I think that'll be the end of it. I don't even think there's enough of my generation to support the pubs that are going. I think it's me dad's generation, like, you know, anyone that's sort of in the 60s that are keeping the pubs going. Because I think maybe when they go, there just won't be enough people, and they'll all shut, which is shit, really. But Alistair, I have 3 pints of them anybody's. Yeah, I know the feeling, mate. Depends on how fast you drink your 3 pints. Yeah, Harry's got a good point here. Lots of these micro pubs popping up around here in London, Kent. Is there the same up there? Yeah, do you know what, mate? Interesting point. That yes, there is. There's literally 3 micro pubs, little like shops that have been turned into little pubs. I mean, you go in there and there's flipping you can't swing a cat. 5 people and the place is packed, you know. But there is 3 of them have popped up. So maybe, you know, maybe that'll be the way. Hopefully, mate. I must admit, it'd be a very depressing day for me when I can't go for the pints after work, you know. The sort of where we've been working in Churton. I'm actually doing a job in Churton. I mean, I don't expect you to know where that is, but basically you've got Chester. I'm in Ellesmere Port, which is here. You've got Chester here, and Churton's the wrong side of Chester for me. And it's a real sort of wealthy area, you know. And there's a few little pubs dotted around there. It's in the countryside. Now, back in the day, it would have just been full of farmers and farm labourers, you know. All these boozers, these would have been proper working men's pubs, you know, fellas that are working with machinery, working in the fields, you know, struggling hard all day. Now, you go to we finish work and we go in these pubs that are in the countryside. It's just full of, you know, very well-to-do, wealthy people. Fine, but it's sort of like, do you know when you sort of get the feeling that they don't want you in there because you're in your work clothes? It's sort of like, you know, yeah, how many you having more than one, are you? You know, you chew. You sort of get. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's the working man is sort of like, can't you just sort of like stay out of sight? So, Sean Seen, I'm a recently qualified plasterer, but I didn't learn a great deal from my tutor while I started binge watching your videos from the very start. Best plasterer on YouTube. Great tips and tricks. Thanks. Cheers, mate. Thank you, pal. Appreciate the kind words. I'm not that good, mate. I'll be honest with you. We don't film when I have fuck ups, do we? So don't put too much of a flipping high demand on me. I'm only human. Dave Noble, live in a village called St. Oswith. I think we've got 3 pubs and a social club within 50 yards. Do you know what? Harry, they're a good earner. I know what you mean. 3 pubs and a social. Where my dad lives, my old fella's moved out to a place, Frodsham. Bit of a nicer area than where I am, actually. There's that many little pubs where he is. It's like you can literally, where my dad is, I think there's about 13 pubs within 1 square mile. You know, you can just fall out of one pub straight into another pub. It's flipping great. Yeah, Frodsham, great little place to go for a drink. The only problem is, whenever I go and see my dad and have a pint, I have to get rescued by the missus because, you know, my dad's one of those. I'll go quite happily after work and have a pint or 2, and that's it. You know, I'll come home, I'll have a few cans in the house. But if my dad gets hold of me, come on, have another one, have one more, and then next minute, you know, I mean, I'm genuinely not exaggerating. There's nothing off my dad. He's about 5 foot flipping 5, and he must weigh about 13 stone, right? I'm about flipping 18 stone, so just trying to give you an idea. 20 pints. We counted. We drank 20 pints, and the little fella is still going and wanting more. And I've gone home like cabbage in the car. My missus saying to me, "You're a flipping idiot, aren't you? You're flipping stupid. You've got to come back here tomorrow for your van, you know, because it's quite a bit of a drive away from me." So I've got I've been asleep in the car. She's left me out in the street because I've got to sleep. The kids are I can't go for a drink with my dad. My dad is a bad influence because he'll just keep buying more and more beer. So you can't go now. It's your round. What's the matter with you? Dad, I've had enough. Come on. Oh, flipping nuts. But that's the dangerous thing. And especially where he lives, as I said, you can just literally pub. You think you're leaving and you're walking, and next minute he's pushing you in the door of another pub. Don't get me wrong, I thoroughly enjoy it. I'm not complaining. I do enjoy my dad. I mean, I didn't enjoy living with him, but now in small doses, I love the bones of the man. He's flipping. You just got to love your dad, haven't you? You know, he's flipping nuts. He's got his own quirky little ways, and he's a fucking nightmare. But I enjoy him. He's flipping crackers. Oh, gentlemen. Right. That's it. Gents, I've had my daily quota. I'm going to go to bed. I've got my missus upstairs. I'm snuggling. You know what it's like? I hope there's no women listening to this. You know, it's like your missus sort of goes to bed before you, doesn't she? So I've got to go in now. I've got to sort of like venture out of here, across my garden, you know. I'm in my work shite. I'm still in my work gear, you know. I'm going to venture in there now, flipping, strip off quick, have a quick rinse in the shower. You get out of the shower, you get, you know, dry off, you're sort of cold. My missus has been snuggled up in bed for flipping God knows, probably since about 9 o'clock. So, ooh, nice big warm bum to snuggle into. Don't tell her I said that. Right, I'm going before I tell you all my secrets. That's what I'm going to do now. Should we starfish? Yeah, she probably will, yeah. I'll probably just, if she's starfishing, mate, I might just, no, I'm not going to do nothing. I was going to say to you, I might just creep up under the covers, you know, flipping attack from the bottom. But the thing is, that's why we've got 4 kids, so we won't. There'll be no more flipping attacking. It's flipping not worth it. Trust me. Uncle Bob, good chat, Kirk. Enjoyed that. Harry, cheers, mate. Right, boys, listen. Do you know what? Do you know when you sort of say, if you go to the pub and the sort of the unexpected nights out are always the best ones? This live, I mean, there's only been a few of us on. It's so late at night, and it was sort of unexpected. I just wanted to do a little test, but I've genuinely enjoyed this. I was having a little bit of a crack and a banter. We haven't even really talked about plastering. I've genuinely enjoyed this. It's been flipping great. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Good night, God bless. Signing off. It's been emotional. See you soon.